So, in something that we have seen quite a lot of recently, and it's unfortunate, Father Time is undefeated. LeBron James is injured again. It's not ideal for the LA Lakers. LeBron James is out injured again.
LeBron being ruled out against the Pelicans is one thing, but the bigger talk is how close he is to losing award eligibility this season. And yes, the NBA made the rule, and now the NBA gets to watch the face of the league get clipped by it. Classic. Before we get into everything, tell me this: how many games do you think he should be required to play for award eligibility? Comment your thoughts below. Alright, let's get into what really happened here and why the whole situation feels like some sort of NBA rule meets Father Time meets load management meets chaos crossover episode. LeBron James is out versus the Pelicans, and the Lakers are trying their best to pretend this is normal. Injury management. Sure, that's the classic phrase teams throw out when they don't feel like explaining anything. It could be a real injury, it could be load management, or it could be the Lakers' medical staff doing what they do best: shrug their shoulders and hope nothing blows up.
I would be disappointed, obviously, if I'm a Lakers fan, because the Lakers, not that they go where LeBron goes, because we're long done from that, but like if the Lakers want to win a championship, LeBron James has realistically got to be one of the main players. LeBron James has got to be at the level of an all-star, at the level of a all-NBA player, if they want to go and win a championship.
Now, let's be fair. LeBron has been ridiculous this season. The guy is 41, playing like he's trying to prove something to the video game developers who gave him a 95 rating back in his Miami days. He's averaging around 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, shooting 52% from the floor, and still running fast breaks like it's nothing. He literally dropped 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists against the Thunder recently. That is not normal for a 41-year-old NBA player. That's not even normal for most 28-year-olds.
Point in the corner, no. LeBron now coming one-on-one with a head of steam. LeBron James!
Rebound and push, that's what they do, and quick timeout already.
Wow.
When he sits, no one on the roster creates for others the same way, and when he sits, the defense loses structure. That's why every missed game feels bigger than it should. Now let's add the sarcastic part, because this whole situation honestly deserves it. The NBA wanted stars to stop taking nights off, so they made a rule that forces older players to risk injury just to qualify for awards they probably won't win anyway. That's genius planning right there. Brilliant stuff. And the Lakers, who want to protect their 41-year-old franchise player, now have to pretend every rest day is a medical emergency just to avoid fines, because nothing shows we care about player health like forcing teams to lie about injuries publicly. The bottom line is simple: LeBron missing this game hurts the Lakers. It puts his award eligibility in danger, it makes the NBA look confused, and it reminds everyone that he's no longer 25. But even with all that said, the guy is still putting up numbers that shouldn't be possible for someone his age. He's still giving you 25 to 8 nights. He's still running the offense. He's still making huge plays in the fourth quarter, and he's still the second or sometimes third best player on this team while carrying the expectations of the first. So yeah, him being out tonight matters, but the bigger story is what this means going forward. Because the Lakers can't afford any long absence, and LeBron can't afford the league's new rules. And the NBA can't afford the optics of the biggest star missing award eligibility because of a rule made to fix a problem that wasn't really his fault. This whole thing sets up a tough stretch for the Lakers in a messy award season for the league, but we'll see how it plays out once he gets back on the floor, because the team looks totally different when he's out there. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like, drop a comment, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next update.
Listen, all I care about is winning. I've done everything in my career, and including winning. and I want to continue that. So I will very easily just fit myself right on in whatever capacity the team needs me to be in.
That's the beauty of your game and your longevity. You can be on the ball, off the ball, in the post, pick and roll, the screener, the handler, the cutter. Like with your IQ, you know how to play off it. A lot of guys who are primary ball handlers have a hard time playing off the ball. You're able to use your feel and IQ.
You know, having that growth mindset throughout my career to whatever position I will ever be able to be put in, you know, no matter if it's Olympic team or Lakers or Heat or Cavs or whatever, to be dynamic. You know, how can I always be a threat on the floor with or without the ball? And that's something I've kind of prided myself over.
And yes, the Lakers are trying to manage things, but every game he misses now counts. He already missed several earlier this season, and with him out tonight against the Pelicans, the number drops again. And let me remind you, at this age, injuries don't magically vanish. They linger, they stretch across weeks, and the Lakers, the same Lakers who rely on him as the second or sometimes third best player depending on Austin Reeves' mood, act like this is fine. Let's talk about the Lakers for a second, because they're not the helpless LeBron or nothing team they used to be. Luka Doncic is doing what Luka Doncic does, dominate when healthy and make fans panic when he falls on the floor for no reason. Austin Reeves, meanwhile, has been on a heater. The guy has gone from fun undrafted fine to actual important piece. He's hitting threes, running pick and rolls, and acting like someone told him he could grab the second scoring option job and never give it back. And honestly, good for him. If there's one player who looks like he takes advantage every time LeBron sits, it's Reeves. But here's the problem. The Lakers don't win a championship unless LeBron plays at an all-NBA level, and I don't mean nice veteran numbers, I mean the full thing. Late game shot creation, game management, defensive rotations, and the 10 random possessions every night where he turns into his 2018 Cleveland self out of nowhere. Without that version of LeBron, the Lakers are not beating the Thunder, Timberwolves, Nuggets, or anyone else pretending to be a real contender. If you saw OKC this season, you know that team plays grown man basketball. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander looks like he's trying to kick down every door in the Western Conference. Chet is doing his stretch 5 unicorn thing, and their role players actually know their roles. The Lakers, meanwhile, have nights where their bench rotation looks like someone spun a random wheel. Now back to LeBron's situation. The team lists this as injury management, which is the world's most vague phrase. It could mean back soreness, hip tightness, glute strain, or the Lakers' personal favorite, mysterious lower body tension. No one knows, but here's what we do know. LeBron has been dealing with nagging pain for months, a real injury, not one of those he just needs rest situations. Earlier in the season, people thought he was faking an injury, which is wild considering this man played through a torn tendon in his foot before the playoffs last year like it was nothing. But okay, sure, he's faking it now because he wants a night off in January.
Brian, man, you're 23, dog. I know you can't believe it, but you've done the work. Yeah. Think about it. You're 23. What lights you up? What keeps you playing at this level that you're playing at?
Look at the competition, and it's about the process for me. You know, I don't think about the end result. I think about the process that I put into it to even get to the point where I can be in the warm-up and then go into a game. So it's everything behind the scenes that get me going before it actually starts.
The truth is simple. He's old, and that's not a knock. It's reality. He's been fighting the calendar longer than any superstar we've seen. But eventually, bodies stop cooperating no matter how much money you spend on recovery. The wear shows up in small ways. First, slower lifts, shorter drives, less bounce, fewer defensive bursts, and you could see hints of that this season. Even with his great numbers, he's still smart enough and skilled enough to adjust, which is why he's still putting up those stats. But he's not superhuman anymore. The top 5 in the world claim finally died quietly this season, and most people accepted it.
I think he was going to be ineligible for awards anyway. Like, unless the eligibility criteria is going to be, like the eligibility criteria is going to change to best player over 40 in the league. If there's a vet of the year, which one wouldn't go to him anyway.
Now let's talk about the award angle, because NBA fans love drama, and this is as good as it gets. The league made the rule to keep stars playing, and now the league's biggest star might fall short of award eligibility because of the same rule. LeBron missing this Pelicans game pushes him further from the 65-game requirement, and with the way the Lakers are handling him, it's very possible he ends up playing fewer than 65, and if that happens, he's automatically blocked from MVP, All-NBA, All-Defensive, yes, even All-NBA, the award he's basically owned for 2 decades, if he doesn't hit 65 games. Gone, no discussion, he could average 40, doesn't matter, and here's the funny part, the NBA absolutely knew older players would get hit by this rule. They made it anyway, and you can bet they're feeling awkward now that the rule is hitting the most famous veteran in the league. Some people say he wouldn't win an award anyway this year. But that's not the point. The point is, the league put out a rule without thinking through how it affects icons, and now it looks like the NBA built a rule that blocks LeBron from awards, but somehow doesn't block the random mid-tier players who play every night because they have to keep their contract value up. But let's shift to something everyone has been whispering about. What if LeBron is just pacing himself for one last real title run? Because let's be honest, fans pretend he's slowing down from choice, but his body is forcing these decisions. Load management is probably the only way he can function at the end of the season. He's not 28 anymore. He's not even 35 anymore. He's 41. Dragging almost 70,000 career minutes behind him, and he spent every year carrying multiple teams. Meanwhile, other stars take weeks off for soreness, so if this is load management, good, he's earned it. He's also trying to avoid the embarrassing ending that every great player hits. He doesn't want to retire off a year filled with small injuries, missed games, or clunky play. He wants one more playoff run where he looks like himself and not a version stuck on low stamina. And seeing how much time he spent publicly talking about playing with his son, he's not retiring yet. Retiring now would be the first year since 2005 where he didn't even look like an All-NBA guy. He's not going out like that, not happening. And here's something nobody wants to say out loud, the Lakers have no long-term plan without him. They still act like next season is championship season. Even though the team is barely keeping up in the West right now, the only thing keeping them from sinking has been huge nights from AD, huge nights from Reeves, and LeBron carrying late-game possessions like he always has, without LeBron at full strength. The Lakers become a team fighting for the play-in. With him healthy, they're dangerous, not favorites, but dangerous, which means the Lakers are stuck again. If they push him too hard, he gets hurt. If they rest him, they lose games and fall down the standings. There's no good option, and that brings us back to this Pelicans game. Missing games is normal for a 41-year-old. The NBA rule just makes it look worse than it is. But the real issue is how much the Lakers still depend on him for offense. When he sits, the spacing gets weird. But sure, go ahead and tell me Father Time doesn't wear down the joints eventually, and this is where the league's new award rules become the real story, because the NBA said, hey, stars keep skipping games, fans complain. Let's force them to play more, so they came up with the 65-game rule. Cool idea until you realize the league is basically punishing the exact players who helped build its popularity in the 1st place. LeBron, who has carried the NBA for 20 years, now has to chase a participation trophy requirement just to be allowed in award conversations. It's like making a professor take attendance in his own class.